from the 37th parallel on America's haunted highway, it's Pixelated Paranormal, your guide to the unusual and the strange.
That's it, huh? Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back after a long, unexpected hiatus. This be Pixelated Paranormal, episode 324. I, of course, am Sean, and with me as always is Preston. And Presto, buddy, how are you, sir? Did you break it? Break it. What's going on? You gonna tell me what's going on?
Oh,
Your audio's not there, huh?
Oh, yeah, it's not there. It wasn't because I was unmuted. It was because my computer reset itself for an update, and OBS didn't have it set up for the microphone, and I forgot to switch that over.
Oh, okay. Hey, that's all right, man. It's been a minute since we got to record,
fucking minute, right? All you cool ghosts and goblins, you crocodiles.
It has, man.
Fucking nerds. How are you? We love you. We're back. We're going to get into why birds aren't real and why the moon is made of cheese and fucking flat Earth is real. It's all conspiracy, baby.
Yeah. You were
fucking conspiracy.
We're going to start a deep dive down into conspiracy theories, but more on that here in a little bit. We want to apologize for the little bit of a hiatus we had. I just got back from vacation. And we were back on track. And unfortunately, Shayla and I had to put our dog Luna down. She had a very severe form of cancer, and it had spread way, way, way more than we had anticipated. And so, unexpectedly, we had to put her down last Thursday. So, yeah, I was in no shape or form available to record podcasts. It just wasn't going to fucking happen. So, we're back. Been about a week. I sure miss her. Anybody who's listened in the last 9 years, if you ever hear like the snoring sound in the background, that was her. Usually just in her little doggy bed just off camera here. So yeah, kind of like Halo and playing Xbox. Rob's old pug Halo. You wasn't Xbox Live unless Halo was snoring in the background, and that's kind of like Luna, man. Yeah, but we're back. On the lighter side of things, Shayla passed her National NCLEX certification test, so she's a nurse, man, officially. She starts here in like less than 2 weeks.
She can put needles in people.
Awesome stuff, man.
In a good way.
I know. I know. And then she can fend off all the phone calls and text messages of, hey, this happened. What should I do?
Go see a doctor. Quit texting.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
You know,
exactly,
when somebody made that joke the other day, I wanted to be a smartass and text in our group chat that I could give you the late 18th century medical advice of just go give yourself an enema because an enema fixes everything. So if you're like, I got a fever, I don't feel good. Well, just go give yourself an enema and put a pill in your ass. You'll feel better. All right, thanks. That's $25.50. Here for all the moral advice.
Yeah. Go flush your butthole, do some cocaine about it, and then, quit being such a baby.
Yeah. Shit.
Well, that's the old way to do it. Well, on this episode, we don't have any news, and that's pretty much it for the intro because the topic itself may be a little longer. We're going to dive into a series of conspiracy theories. Nothing too crazy, although they might be fucking batshit bonkers. I don't know, because we haven't chosen, after tonight's episode, where we're going and what we're doing yet. But this episode is going to be pretty exciting because it has to do with a lot of stuff, man. Our worlds collide, Presto, because we have ancient history and a little bit of paranormal subtext kind of clashing together, man. So... Also, you had done this episode. You wrote this thing like a month and a half ago.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
It's
been
girthy,
a while. We're finally just now getting to it, but
it was girthy and dry. Let's just say that.
It was, and for no reason other than it's ancient history, so it's a little bit dry. That's fair to say, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's a fun topic, and if you just kind of stick with it and stay with us, we've jazzed it up a little bit. And I think it's super interesting just to kind of hear this story. But yeah, this episode is going to be about the mud flood of Tartaria, a topic I had not really heard much about. It was one of those that I'm like, well, that's not interesting to me, so I'm going to skip right over it. But yeah, I think you found the diamond in the rough, man. So
Yeah.
without further ado, excuse me. Without further ado, man, let's just jump into it, buddy. Just pull the ripcord. Let's go.
You got it, man. In a world where the shadows dance with secrets and whisper echoes through the corridor of the mind, the phenomenon of conspiracy theories emerges like a specter in the night.
The moon is hollow and made of cheese.
Fuck yeah, it is. These tantalizing tales woven of threads of half-truths, wild imaginings, beckon the curious with promises of hidden truths and clandestine machinations.
We never landed on the moon, and
Probably
JFK killed Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, she deserved it, and we probably never did. With the advent of the internet, these theories have multiplied like viruses, infecting the minds of the unsuspecting with outlandish ideas of fantastical scenarios. From the electric universe, which I fucking love that one. I think there's some stuff to that one.
Okay.
Life inside black holes, maybe from star larvae to aquatic bipeds. I don't know about that because the fuck you. What was that? The Nature Channel that did that? Hack documentary on a mermaid that got me like all rock hard, and then
It was the History Channel. Yeah.
Fuck you, History Channel, you
man.
pieces of shit. The landscape of conspiracy theories is a wild and untamed wilderness where reality and fantasy blur into one.
Hillary Clinton drinks adrenaline from virgin youths with a straw, and birds aren't real.
I have nothing to say on that one because I'm just going to say somebody didn't kill themselves. So, you know what? Hillary Clinton's a nice old lady. That's all I'm going to say with that. But amidst the chaos and confusions, a new theory emerges. Rooted in ancient rumors as a tantalizing tale of a lost empire that once spanned the vast expanse of Asia and Russia, only to be wiped out from the annals of history by a cataclysmic event of epic proportions. As the tendrils of this theory reach out, twisting and turning in unexpected directions, the truth remains elusive, shrouded in mystery and intrigue. And real quick before we go on, when you say birds aren't real, I like to think of Scott on that one because he's always saying birds aren't real. So if Scott, if you're listening and you're like 5 Bud Lights in, I did not write that part in. That's in blue, so that was all Sean. I agree with you, sir. Birds aren't real.
I sure as fuck did write that for Scott. A little tip of the hat to our buddy Scott. Yeah. They are real. I raised cockatiels as a child. I've watched them bleed and seen what happens when they tear each other apart.
There you go. And Josh over on Kick, Sean's drinking I don't even know what he's drinking. What are you drinking?
Oh, dude. I took a page out of Preston's book, and I'm drinking a Cayman Jack margarita, and the jury's on the fence, man. I don't know what to think about this thing.
Yeah. Well, hey, buddy, I'm drinking a All America here for the Mud Flood. I'm drinking a red, white, and blue, baby. So, fuck yeah. You can't go conspiracy theories without America.
That's true. Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, I just had a whiskey before this, and I didn't want to go too hardcore. But Jesus, this is diabetes and heartburn in a bottle.
There you go, man.
Oof.
And so now, we find ourselves living in a time where nothing is as it seems, and reality is but a fleeting illusion. The allure of conspiracy theories beckons us like a siren's call, drawing the unweary into a web of deception and deceit. And as the shadow lengthens and the night grows dark, the truth remains hidden, waiting to be uncovered by those brave enough to seek it out. And for those brave enough to draw their tinfoil hats and dive into the murky depths of conspiracy theories lies the enigmatic tale of mud flood hypothesis. Ugh. According to this outlandish theory...
Daddy's been drinking.
Yeah, the land of Tartary once reigned supreme over vast swaths of Asia and Russia. And it could be where we got tartar sauce. I'm on the fence on that, but whatever. A continent-wide utopia of innovation and progress, bound by the Caspian Sea and the Ural Mountains, the Pacific Ocean, and Bulgaria. This fabled empire allegedly stood as a testament to human integrity and achievement. Picture a land of wonder and marvels where advanced architecture and free energy, Nikola Tesla, baby, flowed like rivers, and wireless technology, also Nikola Tesla, danced in the air like fireflies on a summer night.
Man, oh man, that's right. Everything you thought you knew is wrong, folks, and we've been using Tartarian tech all of our lives. Apparently, this ancient civilization are the ones who came up with blimps, helicopters, submarines, hot air balloons. Yeah, that's right, guys, all Tartarian inventions, of course. And let's not forget about old churches and cathedrals. They're not religious centers. No, folks. They're actually energy centers. The cathedral organs, those bad boys manufacture frequencies that are amplified and transmitted through portals. And if you thought trains were just a normal mode of transportation, think again, folks. Apparently, the Tartarians invented those too. Anyhoozle, join us, won't you, for a fantastical yarn spun around the disappearance of an ancient empire known as Tartaria, full of mystery, intrigue, rewritten history, occult happenings, and even space aliens. Because y'all know I wouldn't give a lick about this unless there were some cool space aliens.
So you remember like years ago, maybe it was 1 year ago, I don't know. What I'm saying is I'm not good at remembering time, but we talked
You're not a numbers guy.
I'm not a numbers guy. That's what I'm saying. We talked about the the not spaceships, but the airship sightings in like the late 1800s that were all like steampunkish, and then come in. Mm-hmm. People would get off and they'd be like, "Hello, good sir, I've got some gold. I need to buy some supplies." And then they get back in there like with their monocles and their top hats. They get in their like little fucking helium balloon, and they looked all like outer spacey. And then they would like go into a mountain. I'm not saying it's Tartarians.
Yeah.
But Tartarians. I think that could be the
was episode 163 we started talking about that. And then we also had some episode called Duped by Dirigibles, I think, as well. But we talked about airships and stuff several times, man.
Duped by Dirigibles? That's how you get tartar sauce, baby.
Sometimes we do okay.
Yeah, sometimes we do good. All right, so the tale of Tartaria is a mysterious story that has captured the interest of online researchers in the depths of the interwebs, beginning with the country of Tartary, also known as Grand Tartaria, a colossal empire once known to the world but now has been forgotten. And if you, watch TikTok videos, there's that one guy on TikTok in England that's like, "Mud flood, baby, do you see all the windows? Do you know why they're in the bottom of the building?" I hate that guy, and you know what? I think that this right here, this episode is really where we uncover the truth and we give you the true history, not a 20-second TikTok video where you point at a window at the bottom of a building and say, Lost Empire. I digress. And
I love how you just said we give you the true history. I don't know if we are or not, buddy.
Maybe. I think we are. I don't know. But it's probably, realer than birds. I'm just saying. And it's heyday.
Yeah. And like I said it before, I've gotten into half the places I've been in my life because I kicked the door down and had a false sense of confidence. So yeah, we'll do all right.
We'll do all right. And its heyday, Tartary Muscovite, as it was known, held the title of the largest country in the world with a mind-boggling area of, what is that, 3 million square miles? 3,050,000.
30 million? 3 million? I don't know. You wrote this.
Fuck, I don't know. It's a big, huge number, folks. It's like bigger than the state of Texas. I'm going to tell you that right now.
3 million miles.
Yeah, let's say 3 million miles, man. It had its own national language, flag, crest, emperor, and no shit, people. It's like a nation within a nation, existing in its own glorious bubble. The modern-day intrigue surrounding Tartaria began with a declassified CIA document from 1957, which mentioned in brief details about the erasure of said country histories by communist attackers. With little to no depth beyond that, interweb researchers have been puzzled by images of old maps dating back to the 15th century that depict a land labeled as Tartary, sparking curiosity and speculation about this lost civilization and just what the heck it really was.
So what if an old map said Tartary and we all misunderstood this and Tartary just meant like mountainous?
It could be.
It's like a descriptive term.
Yeah.
Anywhere. Let me tell you the story here. Once upon a time in the mysterious land of Bulgaria, between the year of 1438 and 1552, there existed the territory of, what is this? County of Kazan. But here's a twist. The giant territory of land also had another name too, Tartasan, a republic of the Russian Federation, which has also claimed to have flown the same flag as ancient Tartaria. And now let's take a leap forward in time to the year of 1824. If we take a look at a map from this place in time, it would show you a Chinese Tartaria state and the land of China coexisting like two very unlikely companions set next to each other, creating a fascinating blend of cultures and territories. So this thing's popping up on maps. That's the weird thing. Like Tartaria pops up on random maps.
Fast forward another 26 years. Fuck yeah, 1850. And behold, Mongolia starts to emerge in the very place where independent territories of Tartaria once stood. It's like a game of historical musical chairs. Meanwhile, China, not one to be left behind, expands and transforms into a mighty empire, stealing the spotlight from Tartaria, which slowly fades away into obscurity, disappearing from modern-day maps.
So what exactly happened here, and what could be the cause for a whole continent to be wiped off the face of the earth? Well, this is where we inject the mud flood theory, the key to unraveling the mysterious surroundings of the once almighty but now absent Tartaria. According to this theory, a global deluge of mud took place, causing cities and lands to sink into the depths of the earth under one gigantic mud flood. This cataclysmic event led to perceived flaws in historical records, prompting various political authorities to literally rewrite history over the past 200 years. Kinda like a low-rent 1984. Well, we can't find Tartaria anymore, sir, so fuck it. Should we just slap Mongolia on there? Might as well. But if we travel down further into the darkened annals of history, a name emerges equally shrouded in just about as much, if not more, mystery, and that is the great and daring Giovanni da Pien del Carpine, a figure born in the depths of 13th century.
You could have put a little bit more like pizzazz, like Giovanni da Pien del Carpine,
Giovanni da Pien del Carpine, a figure born in the depths of the 13th century who etched his name as the first audacious European traveler to tread upon the sacred grounds of the enigmatic Mongol Empire.
Del Carpine, who was a contemporary Marco Polo, was sent on a mission by Pope Innocent IV to learn about Mongol culture and assess its military strength. So he traveled through Kiev, Ukraine, across the Dnieper, Don, and Volga rivers. He then reached out to the Ordu camp of Batu, the supreme commander of the western frontiers. Del Carpine was then ordered to continue his journey onto the court of the Great Khan, traveling a total of 3,000 miles in 106 days. While in the Mongol Empire, Del Carpine documented his observations and compiled them into a comprehensive work called Historia Mongolium, Quest non Tartos Aplamaeus, which is the history of the Mongols, who we call Tartars. The book consisted of 8 chapters covering all sorts of interesting topics like climate, customs, religion, character, history, policy, tactics, strategy, and all used to counter them in battle. But there was also a 9th chapter in his book that described the lands that he traveled through during his adventures. However, his written work wouldn't be published in its entirety until 1839, which just so happens to coincide with the timeline of the alleged destruction of Tartaria and the rise of the modern Tartarian theory.
But here's where things get even more interesting. The mud flood theory is based on the ideas of two dudes, Alexander Hinovich and Anatoly Fomenko, who were pseudo-intellectuals and cult leaders promoting neo-paganism and Russian Tartaritization.
Yeah.
In
just
Russian
just think about
Tartari.
this is like before the Nazis were just like, everybody is Aryan. You had two Russian dudes that were like, everybody's Tartazarian. There you
We're
go.
all star children and everything's great.
Yeah.
In Russian pseudoscience, Tartary is claimed to be the real name for Russia, and the inclusion of the inner hyphen symbolizing European negativity towards the region. The theory suggests that the additional R in Tartary was a result of a racist pun formed by King Louis XVI. Anatoly Fomenko, a Soviet mathematician, then popularized Russian Tartarinization through his new chronology. Man, that's a tough one when you've been drinking. And the occult history of Nikolai Levashov. I didn't realize my cat was behind me. Fomenko believed that the glories of Rome, Greece, and Egypt actually occurred during the Middle Ages, contrary to historical documents. He also argues that most standardized history is fraudulent, and these accounts claim that the Great Pyramids were even built by the Mongol hordes, which they instead refer to as Russian hordes, and the credits go to them for colonizing America and inspiring... hold on a second, guys. Come here, buddy boy. You're going to knock everything down and break really valuable collectibles.
Nerd.
Bop, boop, bop. And credits them for colonizing America and inspiring the Roman Empire. When two historical timelines align closely, Fomenko concludes that one of them must be false. So he's basically saying that his imaginary history is real and everything we know from the history books is just horseshit. The main premise here is that all written history is merely copying, altering, and repeating a set of historical events. So basically just rearranging shit, like also saying the pyramids were built in the Middle Ages. Fomenko and Hinovich assert that traditional history only occurred from 800 AD onwards, and nothing significant took place earlier in ancient eras.
Nothing to
Fomenko
see here,
also
folks.
concludes
Move along. These aren't the Russians you're looking for.
Yeah. Dinosaurs, they were back in the 40s, the 1940s. Fomenko also concluded the kingdom of Judah was fabricated by historians who were allegedly ripping off the real history of the Middle Age Saxon dynasty in Europe. This concept also became known as Fomenko parallelism. Hold on a second, folks. Fomenko parallelism. Jesus. Fomenko parallelism, which aimed to incorporate all the world's history into a Russian-dominated system, including the development of America. So as a result, many well-known figures and locations in history were reinterpreted or disregarded. For example, folks, Jesus is portrayed as a Byzantine emperor known as Andronikos, the Icomenos, fused with biographies of a pope and a Chinese emperor. That's right, folks. Your pseudo-white Jesus is actually nothing more than a Chinese pope. Additionally, Troy and Jerusalem were merged into one city and the Byzantine capital known as Constantinople. Although I will digress further and say I thought Istanbul was once Constantinople. Anywho, Fomenko
wasn't that a song by They Might Be Giants?
You got it, baby. You
Damn.
got it. It's a whole fucking banger of an album, dude. I love that album. Anywho, Fomenko proposed that most of history was dominated by the Mongol hordes, again referred to as the Russian horde, and led by Tsar Khans such as Genghis and his grandson Kublai, who were believed to have built the pyramids.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Preston, I'm tired. You take over.
You got it, man. All right, so in a gripping 7-volume work of his own, Fomenko, known as the Terminator for whatever reasons, delves into a controversial endeavor of erasing vast sections of non-Russian history. His audacious revisions of biblical history chronologically sparked outrage from the Russian Orthodox Church. Adherents boldly assert that the Western historian perpetuate the myth of an Aryan people, while the Holy Roman Empire is merely a distorted version of Russia's illustrious past. Fomenko, ever the racist, even daringly claims that even Genghis Khan was Russian, the first formidable leader of the Grand Empire. Tartars are dismissed as figments of imagination, and the tale of the Mongolian invasion is ascribed to the manipulations of the Romanovs. Throughout his work, though, supposedly Fomenko uncovers the unsettling presence of Aryan mythology and white supremacy, a dark force he vehemently opposes.
Anyone need a pee break? I feel like we're in school. Maybe go outside and visit the water fountain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we're back. Let's flash forward again to the 1960s and get occulty. So Nikolai Levashov, who we mentioned.
Well, that's an orange. That's mine, buddy. But you read it. It's fine.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just was going after it, buddy.
Dude,
okay,
you go.
You go. You're fine.
Yeah. So that guy that Sean just mentioned earlier, and that I mentioned earlier,
Nikolai Levashov.
That guy emerges now as a figure of intrigue. Born in 1961, he's just not an ordinary man, but a Russian occultist with a self-proclaimed title of psychic healer. So he's kind of like
yes.
What's that guy that Lazarus gets all hard about? Crowley.
Aleister Crowley.
He's just a Russian Aleister Crowley. His work takes us on a journey beyond our wildest imagination, delving into realms of the unknown. Levashov's own writings delve into various forms of life in the vast expanse of the universe, challenging our controversial beliefs. But it is his alternative account of mankind's first appearance on Earth that truly captivate the mind. What if everything we thought we knew about our origins was a mere fabrication? Fueled by deep resentment toward the treatment of the Slavs, Levashov's beliefs embark on a daring mission to rewrite the narrative in his own special way.
And if you guessed his attention would lead him to fall right into the fabled land of Tartaria, you'd also be correct.
You're goddamn right. In his studies, he focused on Tartaria, which leads him to a land shrouded in mystery, situated to the east of the Urals and stretching all the way to the vast Pacific Ocean. But this simply cannot be just any old boring-ass land. Levashov does it the land of the Holy Race, an enigmatic title that invokes shivers down the spine. To Europeans, this land was known.
It also kind of mimics the racism of Aleister Crowley too, man. Ugh.
Yeah,
fucking cult leaders, man.
Cult leaders, god damn it. To the Europeans, this land is known as the Great Tartary, a name that exudes pride and grandeur. It exhibits its inhabitants boldly proclaim it to be the greatest country in the world. Shit. It's kind of like the old.
Shame.
Yeah, oops, USFA right there. Uh-oh. Anyways, a claim that begs Levashov to uncover its secrets. The majority of its population consists of Slavs, pretty much Russians, but it's important to note that the people of other nationalities also find solace within its borders, enjoying equal rights.
I love the idea that, like, this occult master comes up with this fucking giant cockamamie scheme, and he's like, it's the most greatest country in the world. Now I gotta make up a bunch of shit that supports that. Well, stay with us here, folks. If you're halfway asleep in the back of the class, wake up, because it's about to get a little bit better here. So what sets Tartaria apart from the Turkic tribes that it surrounds is Levashov presented a mind-boggling theory. The Slavs, the very heart and soul of Tartaria, are beings not of this earth. That's right, y'all. Levashov believes that the Slavs actually came from extraterrestrial origin, an idea that challenges our very understanding of human existence. Could it be that the Slavs hold the key to unlocking the mystery that lies beyond our earthly realm?
Picture this, a massive group of 40,000 humans, but not just any humans, mind you, the best humans. but beings from beyond our realm, beautiful beings descending upon the earth through stargates. And with them, they bring a select group of advanced humanoid creatures, the most beautiful creatures you've ever seen. They're the best. I love them. They're great. Kind of like
I know
a
a thing about
sci-fi
creatures.
version.
These are beautiful.
Yeah, they're beautiful. They're the best. A sci-fi version of Noah's Ark. It's a big boat, the best boat you can build. And these visitors, similar to modern man, decide to establish a caste system because, well, fuck, it worked out for India, so that's how things work, right? Okay, it's your turn, bud.
Enter the Urs, spelled U-R-S, a super elite group of individuals with mighty abilities that surpass the feeble imaginations of us mere mortals. They become the rulers of this brave new world, also known as Tartaria, graciously taking on the role of tutors to the lesser folk, stupid-ass humans like us. And because they're so advanced, they train a very special caste of keepers to preserve their precious knowledge.
Special knowledge, the best knowledge that you could get, like how the Urs possess not one but two runic alphabets, because you need more than one alphabet. Because why settle for just one when you can have two? Two is better. In addition to this, and their
What if one
wisdom,
breaks?
Yeah, well, if one breaks, we got a backup. Hell yeah. They decide to add the prefix Rus to the name, R-U-S. See where I'm going here? To their collective. You have the Russians, you have the Persians, you have the Etruscans. You name it, they can't resist spreading the Rus love. And if that wasn't enough, the brilliant idea gives birth to the whole slew of nations, the Serbs, the Bulgarians, the Macedonians, the Croatians, the Slavans, and the Poles. Just like a linguistic explosion of epic proportions.
And where does all this mind-boggling information come from, you might ask? Well, hold on to your hats, folks, because it's none other than the Book of Veles. Yep, that's right, guys, another fucking transcript about this weird-ass long-forgotten land. The Book of Veles is recorded 20,000 years of Slavic history, completed around the 10th century. Just your average historical document with an impressive timeline that puts even the most ancient civilizations to shame. Oh, the wonders of Tartaria.
And the story doesn't end there, folks. Even as late as 1865, publications were being circulated, spreading the tales of Tartaria far and wide. The British flag table of 1783 reveals yet another intriguing aspect of Tartarian history. Among the flags listed, we can find 3 different flags representing the Tsar of Moscow, and it is important to point that the representation of Tartaria begins to fade in obscurity.
The alleged destruction of Tartaria has sparked fierce debates and captured the attention of conspiracy theorists online across the globe. While the geography, diplomacy, and culture of Tartaria alone may not have been enough to ignite such controversy, additional information has emerged that piques the interest of those who delve into conspiracy theories. One article listed on Medium.com explores the notion of a nefarious plot to literally destroy Tartaria. It poses the question, what if there was a conspiracy so big that nobody would ever believe you? What if recent history was intentionally and almost completely erased? This article presents Tartaria and the Mud Flood as part of a grand conspiracy. According to the article, in a complete reset of human history, a significant civilization known as Tartaria was not only destroyed but also deliberately covered up with a fabricated history. The author claims that Tartaria's buildings were buried beneath a flow of mud, eventually erasing their existence. Then, to further support the theory, the article includes pictures of numerous buildings and their ground floor windows and doors partially buried. These images serve as a visual evidence for the author's argument that Tartaria was indeed destroyed and all that remains were concealed. The author even suggests that those responsible for this alleged cover-up meticulously removed any traces of Tartaria from history records and replaced them with manufactured narrative. A motive behind such an extensive effort remains unclear. And in parentheses, I should have put, and really fucking convenient, right?
Let me go ahead and put my Scully hat on real quick because I have to not be Mulder anymore. And as with any conspiracy theory, it is important to approach the subject with a critical mindset and scrutinize the evidence presented. While the theory of Tartaria's destruction and subsequent cover-up may capture the imagination, it is crucial to consider multiple perspectives and examine the credibility of sources involved. The alleged destruction of Tartaria has sparked fierce debates and captured the attention of conspiracy theorists online. While the geography, diplomacy, and culture of Tartaria alone may not have been enough to ignite such controversy, additional information has emerged that piques the interest of those who delve into the conspiracy theory. The theory surrounds Tartaria has gained traction among conspiracy theorists who have examined historical maps and drawn conclusions based on their limited knowledge of certain historical aspects. These individuals become confused when they encounter older maps that label large portion of Inner Eurasia as Tartaria, leading them to speculate about the existence of a vast kingdom or nation-state that has since vanished. It is important to note that labeling of these regions as Tartaria on old maps does not necessarily indicate the presence of a significant kingdom or nation-state. Historical maps can often be misleading and should not be interpreted, can be misleading and should be interpreted in the proper context. The question that then arises as to why these regions are on or not still referred to as Tartaria today. They continue to use the term. The continued use of the term can be attributed to a variety of factors such as cultural traditions, linguistic influences, and historical associations. In a truly riveting turn of events, conspiracy theorists have managed to unearth a treasure trove of evidence to support their claim about Tartaria, including a collection of ancient photographs featuring majestic oversized doors, striking statuaries, and awe-inspiring paintings. But hold your breath, because that's not all. They also stumbled upon the existence of motherfucking giants. Yeah!
If anybody's watched the IT Crowd, I like to imagine Matt Berry's character, the second boss of Rena Ministries, giving like this grandiose proposal about Tartaria. And they're like, well, sir, where do you get the evidence? Show us some evidence. And he shows a picture of, quote, oversized doors. And it's going, boom, oversized doors.
Mic drop.
There's Tartaria. Yeah. Shit. Anyway, you heard that right, guys. Preston just said motherfucking giants. And how did they make this connection, you might ask? Well, through the tales of Gog and Magog, historically associated with the Mongolians. Conspiracy theorists have taken things to the next level with their masterful photo editing skills, creating hoaxes of gigantic proportions. These cleverly crafted images are meant to deceive and cover up the truth. And what about this is truth, you may wonder? Well, the mud floods, you fucking idiot. Mud floods. That's the truth. That's what really happened. That's what we're getting at. Allegedly, these catastrophic events occurred between the 1400s and 1700s, and maybe around the 1850s, who knows? But according to these theorists, ancient buildings, some hundreds of years old, were found buried in mud, up to several stories high, or even completely engulfed by mud. This destruction, they claimed, wiped out the mighty Tartarian Empire, leading to what they call the Last Rapture. And just when you thought things couldn't get more absurd, some theorists believe the Tartarians were the indigenous people sired by the sons of Noah who built an empire. Apparently, these tall folks stood a staggering 12 feet tall in height, and if that's not enough, previous generations were even taller, but their stature diminished with each deluge or reset of humanity. So this almost sounds like a reoccurring mud flood, like over and over and over till somebody got it right. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we've even gotten skeletons of Tartarian giants that were found on every other continent as well, along with elongated skulls and graveyards filled with little people with horned human entities in tow. And because that's not crazy enough, some tinfoil hat wearers even claim that Native Americans were just a faction of the American population of the 18th century, ergo Tartarians who made their way over to North America.
Oh, those could have been those giants that the Paiute Indians smoked out in the cave. The skulls are sitting in the Arizona State University basement. Bam, connecting the dots. My Mulder hat is back on. Okay.
There you go, yeah.
With the theories about the Tartarian Empire, they've truly captivated the imaginations of internet enthusiasts since 2018. But where do these theories come from? Well, certainly not from any credible sources like archaeologists or geologists, because fuck science. They come from the dark underbelly of internet conspiracy theory culture. Yes! So you might be sitting here asking yourself, What exactly do the Tartans look like? Are there any people today that might have looked like them? Well, no, because the people themselves are also buried. Due to the orphan boom, according to the theorists, it was either caused by laws forbidding unwed mothers to keep their children or an effort to reintegrate the children of Tartarian casualties into society without causing a social fuss. That's right. That's where they stopped from reproducing and repopulating.
But here's the cherry on top of this conspiracy Sunday. Sunday. Advanced weaponry used in their further examinations was tied to a familiar ancient story. Apparently, the Ark of the Covenant, yes, the one carrying the Ten Commandments, was actually a high-tech electric capacitor capable of taking out millions of Tartarians and used to wipe out the remaining population of Tartans. That's right, everybody. Another possible hypothesis for what happened to the Tartans is, boom, death space lasers coming out of the Ark of the Covenant.
Fuck yeah, dude. Indiana Jones all over again.
Right.
So there you have it, folks. The wondrous world of the Tartarian theories. It's a captivating mix of anti-Semitism, scapegoating, giant skeletons, advanced weaponry, hidden histories. You know, you don't need evidence or critical thinking when you have such a fantastical narrative.
So as the shadows of doubt creep in and the whispers of skepticism grow louder, one can't help but wonder, is this tale of Tartaria nothing more than a mirage in the desert of conspiracy theories? A figment of imagination woven from threads of fantasy and delusion? Or could there be one small kernel of truth buried beneath the layers of myth and legend, waiting to be unearthed by those brave enough to venture into the realm of the unknown?
I mean, look, I think that weird orphan boom in like the late 1800s, because Scott, he texted us or messaged you before we, before we did
the orphans
show.
of the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah, the orphans of the Industrial Revolution, right? Maybe that should be the next conspiracy theory we try to deep dive into and start connecting the dots.
Oh boy,
because we got the dirigibles, right? We got the weird airships. You have reports of giants all over North America, and there's that one little island off the coast of Italy that there's fucking giants in cave that kids were like, hand jerking the skeleton arm and making them read like bedtime stories and like, all this weird shit going on. I think there's a little bit more to it. In all seriousness, when I look at these conspiracy theories, flat earthers, go get fucked. I don't think there's anything to flat earth. But this one, man, I think, even though somebody really churched it up, there might be a little bit to this. So I don't yet have, the pin in the hat, so to speak, of this is fake. I'm leaning toward this might be better than we never went to the moon. Just saying.
First of all, how dare you? Second of all, it's a pretty interesting little conspiracy theory. I like the idea that, like, they were this raging empire of, like, technological advances, and finally, like, every other government's just like, fuck it, like, wipe them off, gather all the maps, burn them, print new maps. It's no longer Tartaria. It's going to be either Mongolia or Russia. We don't give a fuck. Put both of them on there. It doesn't matter. That there can't be any evidence anymore. And then they come up with this really cockamamie scheme about, like, it's like Pompeii, but instead a giant mud flood comes and wipes it away. And then you have certain stories saying, they're super advanced and they're like skyscrapers, and others say, they're buildings that are like 1 and 2 stories tall. And then every time you're like, well, what happened to the people? Where are the giants? And you have to come up with this other bullshit about, like women couldn't keep the babies and they had to, just all this crazy shit, dude. It's a fun theory. At first, I was very intimidated by the fucking 10 pages that you typed up about this topic. I'm amazed that 10 pages burned up in like 40 minutes. That puppy, went pretty quick. So, yeah, it's a good one, man. I like it. And it had everything tangled up, dude. Like, I like how this occult leader, what was his name, Levashov, was just like,
Yeah.
I got to have something better. Oh shit, Tartaria. Nobody can prove that didn't or did exist. Great. Now half my beliefs lie in the fucking land of Tartaria. And then also he's like, oh yeah, space aliens too, because what occult leader is not complete without fucking space aliens and star children? I love it. And yeah, solid A minus on this topic, man. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed this.
I do what I can.
Fuck
you
yeah,
know?
dude. Yeah, and it shows.
Yeah.
We'll start doing some more conspiracy theories, but we're not going to bring anything to the table unless it's some pretty quality shit, or fun, or a mixture of both. Like, I don't think we're going to probably do the moon landing because we've talked about that shit a ton of different times. But we'll find some good stuff and start bringing that just to kind of be a little palate cleanser as we ease back into the show. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, we don't have very many other weeks where we can't be on here. So just, big series of unfortunate events kind of played in there, and hopefully we're back now and we'll be doing this regularly. I think it's probably safe to say, if you've been paying attention to the schedule, we normally record Thursday nights, and then that gives me the weekend to record, and then audio will drop into the normal feeds probably Mondays. I think that's a safe bet. Record Thursdays, audio drops on Mondays. So if you want to hear this faster, jump on YouTube, watch it live. It's a little funner. The episodes are a little longer. We cut some stuff out. A little more banter sometimes, talking to people who are in the chat as well. And then the audio, of course, you get, a couple days later. No big whoop. So, anywho, we'll do something special for our 9-year anniversary coming up, too. We kind of glazed over that, so we'll definitely circle back around and celebrate that, too. So, if you guys have stories to share, please send them in to pixelatedparanormal@gmail.com. You can also shoot us some DMs. You can shoot us some PMs. And we still have our Google Voice. So if you want to leave us a number, you definitely can do that. Leave us a number. Leave us a voicemail. 913-662-3144.
But whatever you do, don't shoot your tartar sauce on us. We're not into that. So,
I looked into that, and I definitely could not find anything that linked tartar sauce to Tartaria. So
I'm very
I think it's safe
disappointed.
to say.
Very disappointed.
I know. Fuck.
But
well,
look,
you guys, if
folks,
you're on the old social medias, what?
look, if you need a beard, if you want a beard, if you want to grow the best damn beard possible, if you're upset that, Tartaria is no longer a thing, if you're concerned about how to look when the giant overlords come back and take everything over, Mr. Josh over on Kickstart, Satan's your dad. Hey, no worries, brother. Get some big dobs in your beard. You know what? Jazz yourself up a little bit. Look good, smell good. Get it all. Get it at Dobbs. Use promo code PXLPARA for 20% off your order. I'm rocking the Spartan scent right now. I think it's amazing. Dobbs, if you're listening, you son of a bitch, I still need you to do some paranormal themed scents for us. I think tartar sauce should be one. Dapper Squatch.
Idiot.
Tartar
sauce. It just smells like wet feet.
There you go.
Oh,
or mud.
Gross.
Death.
Yeah, man. I've been rocking Spartan as well, and I on the whole time we were on the cruise ship, I was doing Bay Rum because it just felt appropriate.
There you go.
Josh over on Kick, if your dad's Satan, why don't you get him a can of Big Dove's Beard Balm for Father's Day? Satan might be the all-time biggest asshole, but if it's your dad, don't forget. If you're on the social medias, please give us a follow. On Instagram, we are at PXL Paranormal. Facebook, we are the Pixelated Paranormal Podcast. Got a Twitter, haven't touched that shit in like 3 years, especially when Dum Dum took it over and started calling it X, the dumbest name possible. What else is there? If you're in the Wichita area, stop by, see our dear, dear friend Leslie and the rest of the gang over at CD Trade Post, Pawnee, and Seneca. Also, it might be too late, but there's a really cool, really gory Wichita horror film that came out back in, oh god, I'm an idiot. What is it? Was it 1993? I think it's 1993. Called Darkness. Yeah, early 90s. It's called Leaf Yonkers Darkness. I'm going to drop this guy in the camera here. Hopefully you guys can kind of see that with all the reflections in my light. But Leaf is a really good buddy of mine. He does a shit ton of, really good stuff for the Wichita community, especially the movie community and the horror community. he is the one who made this film Darkness, and he just dropped the score and the soundtrack in a double LP pressed on vinyl. It's fantastic. Leslie had a bunch of really cool events last weekend. If you dip into the CD Trade Post here in Wichita, you may find a copy or two. But yeah, super cool. One LP is a bunch of metal, and the other is the synthesized score that Leaf Health composed as well. So pretty cool stuff. On top of that, check out Paranormal Egg Experience and the Paranormal.cafe brick and mortar food store. With that, buddy, we blew the dust off. I'm going to go pour the other half of this Cayman Jack margarita down the drain because I don't enjoy it. But I'm going to raise it up and say cheers to the weird shit in the world and those of us. Let's talk about it.
And stay spooky and stay on the paranormal highway.
The cast at Pixelated Paranormal would like to thank you for listening to this week's episode. Pixelated Paranormal is here to tell you tales of the fantastical, the strange, the unknown. Tales that will move you a little further down the paranormal highway. If you'd like to share your own listener story, we would love to hear it. Email us at pixelatedparanormal@gmail.com. Again, that's pixelatedparanormal@gmail.com. We'd really love to hear from you. Again, thanks for listening to this week's episode of Pixelated Paranormal, your guide to the unusual and the strange.